Alright, hello, this is Alexa Soto, and we are going to talk about today about a game called Total Chaos, and it is a survival horror game, and we are going to see its pros and cons and see if this game is good. It is available on, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but it definitely is on PC because I played it on PC, and it should be on the Game Pass as well. So if you guys have Game Pass, definitely I would recommend you to try it from that. And then if you like what you see and what you play, then definitely check the game out. So Game Pass, probably it should be in Xbox as well, and should be on PlayStation, I think. I might have to look it up. I'll update it on that, about that in my description or comment section. Let's talk about these pros and cons. Pros. For an Unreal Engine game, this game is very good at its performance, and it didn't exactly use that much VRAM. And I am also playing this on AMD, and it surprisingly ran fine on AMD graphics card as well. But you might have to take that with a grain of salt because I do have an X3D chip, 5700 X3D. And my GPU right now, I played it on 3080, and fortunately my 3080 died on me. So I am playing this now on my new GPU, which is a 7700 XT. So I do have my rebar on as well. So if you guys want more info, there we go. And it surprisingly ran quite well, and it didn't exactly use that much VRAM either. So if you got a 5060 or even a 2060, I think you could theoretically get away with it, But I don't see this game having DLSS, or at least I don't remember using them. So you might have to, use the, from the NVIDIA app or AMD FSR or something like that, from the driver level settings instead of the in-game settings. The in-game settings are pretty lackluster. It doesn't have many settings because it's optimized on a baseline, so it doesn't need that much settings at all, So that's kind of nice. So as you can see the gameplay behind me, it is a first-person game, and it is a survival horror, like similar to Resident Evil, I would say, but your primary weapon is mostly going to be your melee weapon. So keep that in mind if that's your thing. Alright, let's go to the next one. The puzzles. This game has puzzles as well. So you can see there are some notes, and then some notes tell you what to do and what I'm doing. I think I might have to skip the footage a little bit. There we go. I think I might have to edit that out. I just randomly, in the middle of the game, I'm opening a freaking Microsoft tab. Mozilla tab. Let's see. The puzzles are very easily understandable. And it's more intuitive. Like, I think I'm running into one right now, as you guys can see. Or maybe it's underneath it. I seen one thing here, I think. So that's kind of nice. So it's more intuitive, you can understand it very quickly. I'm not really a fan of puzzles, to be honest, but I had a decent time with this game's puzzles. Like, there are very small amount of games that has puzzles that I like. This one, and there is that Hell is Us game. Like, even with the common knowledge, or even if you look around, they will give you enough clues and or straight up the answer, so you can just look around and then figure it out yourselves. So it's not too complicated, And the enemies have decent, weakness. Like, there are some notes, like I said, there are clues you find in this game. It's a survival game, right? So you will step by step learn with notes of what to do when the enemies show up, Some enemies can be more vulnerable if you throw an object at them, And then there is things that will keep them occupied, So you can run at them and then melee them to kill you. Melee them to kill them, You are totally in control in this game, which is very nice. The game is funny enough, the game is called Chaos, but you can be in total control if you know what you're doing, which is quite nice. I like that kind of games, so which is quite a good thing to know about this game. And let's see, exploration is quite nice, and it actively encourages you to explore as well. It doesn't really screw you over if you go out of your way to find things. In fact, it will reward you. In Dark Souls, that's why I don't like Elden Ring that much. Because if you try to explore in that game, you will get fucked in the ass and then you don't get anything out of it, So that's why this game is pretty rewarding in that run. So be sure to explore and then look to every corner you can come across. And nice vibe. I think the game's atmosphere, the ambience is pretty neat. I think they made the game in a way and used the Unreal Engine in a sense. It's more advantageous to them, Which is quite nice, I would say. Yeah. And what else you can talk about? Let's see. No unlimited enemies. That's also a good point about this game as well. Because in Resident Evil, if you don't go into a certain door or don't go into a certain area, you know what I mean, right? They will just bombard you with so many enemies, which is so annoying to deal with, and then you die in the process, which makes the game frustrating. In this game, if you go into a room and kill those guys in there, they won't respawn. They just, unless you die to another bomb or something, then they will respawn. But if you kill them, you will be rewarded, I want to put him down, I want to kill something and then get rewarded by that thing is not coming back. So you will be more confident. You see what I mean? You in control. The game rewards you when you kill something by not respawning it and then wasting your time. That's survival games need to learn from this game, to be honest, because it rewards you. You used one of your resources to get rid of an enemy, and the game rewards you for that by not respawning that guy. And sometimes they drop the items too, which is really nice as well, So that's a good part. So new mechanics. There are some enemies that have very unique mechanics in this game. So that is also a good thing. You will figure it out. I don't want to spoil it because I think there is one unique enemy in this game that is quite fun to play around with. And it's technically a horror game, but they don't really jump scare you that much. Like I said, total control, So you'll have a good time once you started exploring and know what to do and how to deal with them. So that's kind of nice. That drops. Like, when you're exploring in this game, the weapons are pretty abundant, so you don't have to conserve it too much. You can use them to get rid of the enemies. Since they don't respawn, you don't exactly waste your waste your resources, so that's super nice. Man, I don't know why my footage is dying in the background, unfortunately. But okay, we are back. Alright, so every masterpiece has its issues, so this one is not exactly a masterpiece either. It's a above average game at best. It's a mid game if you have higher expectations. So let's talk about its cons. So the issues I found in this game. The first one I noticed, at the start they will give you a single weapon, and then there are a bunch of boxes. So you have to roam around with a quite amount of time. Do not attack the boxes, and then break them, and then in the process breaking your weapon, because there is so many boxes, and then you will break the weapon. That's what I did. And you will when you encounter the first enemy in the game, you will have nothing if you break that single weapon. So be sure to keep that weapon to yourself and then use that to hit the guy, and then you can run back. Maybe you can't, no. They will lock you inside a room without no weapon, so you cannot run back either. So do not do this when you get your first weapon. After you kill that guy, you will be fine, because you have to open certain number of switches and that guy is keep chasing you and throwing stuff at you. It's kind of a little bit annoying, So that's kind of the only thing I noticed at the start. And then this game, for a survival game, this game doesn't give you a stash tab. You cannot store your items in a suitcase, in some kind of locker, nothing. You just have your own inventory and then that's it. And that inventory as well, going to the next problem, is very small, and the upgrade items you find are very rare. At least from my playthrough, I didn't be able to find it very easily. Which makes the item management super annoying. I don't really enjoy that part of this game, because if it has a stash, that would be nice. So, So you have to pick and choose which item you want to keep and which item you want to throw away. And they give you many items as well. So, it kind of feels how the place, And your main character, this guy, I don't know what kind of he has a hunger of a freaking jigglypuff. He gets hungry so often, dude. Like, he will swing like 5 times and then he will just grasp for air and then he will get hungry. Such a hungry bitch this guy is. Maybe he is an alcoholic or something. Goddamn. So hungry all the time, you have to eat food like a freaking cartoon. At the end, this guy would be like a 500 boss, because that's how much food I have to make him eat in order to survive. Because what happens is, if you are hungry, your stamina bar, this game has a stamina bar. So it allows you to swing how much you want. So it has a stamina bar. So you cannot swing that often if you are hungry, so be sure to top it off. And there is that good thing, you can just toggle that, what do you call it? Harden, and then see what are the issues you have. You cannot overeat either, so you have to balance it out with the food you get, Speaking of blueprints, this game, in order to craft different kinds of weapons, there are a good amount of weapon varieties you can master in this game, which is quite nice. But the blueprints you find, it will get clumped into a single menu. And at the end, I think I had like 40 blueprints. I don't have like a search bar or anything. And I have to manually click every time in order to find the one I want, in order to make the item, I kind of find that really tedious. And at the end, I just stick to the default blueprints that I remember, and then started to use that weapon. Not to mention some of the most important things. In the weapon and the blueprints, important blueprints, I would say. Like, I never found a revolver. Or some kind of other items that I need. Like, you can't find the blueprints either. It's super hard to see them and find them. So that's kind of a bit unfortunate. The menu is a bit cluttered as well, like I said. That's another problem I found. If that is not the issue, that would be nice. So these are all some kind of little bit of friction, I would say. It doesn't make the game unplayable, you can work around it, but it's just the friction I found, which doesn't really help the game that much, I would have more enjoyable time if these issues are not there. So yeah, the blueprints are quite hard to find, and that's pretty much it. The story is pretty alright. It's basically a psychological horror, you could say in the genre. I don't exactly know what do you call it? the full detail of the story because obviously, like every game, I got the bad ending in this one too. But I don't want to spoil either, so you guys have to find out yourself. Check it out since it's on Game Pass. And the gameplay hours is not that high. I think you will be able to finish it. Around 16 hours if you're good. Because it took me way more because I have some other stuff I need to do. And let's talk about this ending. In the ending, as you can see in the video, the rectangle is white, right? The boss has a mechanic you have to shoot up. Yeah. The sky is white and you cannot see the rectangle over there at all. You know? So it's basically white on white, which is so annoying to aim with your gun because you have to use your gun at the end. Just a tiny spoiler there. It's a horror game, you have to use your gun, that's the spoiler right there. So, looking up into the sky and then shooting the thing is so... what do you call that? Not fun. As you can see, you see what I'm doing, right? Like I saw you exploited that monster's weakness and then I got rewarded by easily killing that guy, you know? So that's quite nice. It's very... It felt very smoother. Like the game, in terms of the exploration and the puzzle finding, I think it's a good design. Like if there's a skillful developer, ease the process of exploration and finding the things you need to find in order to progress. This game's developer kinda know what they're doing, and no matter what you're doing in the game, you will eventually go to the point that you need to go in order to progress, you know? Which many games these days really struggle to do that thing, you know? So this game, these developers I think have a decent future. Definitely. I guess the Xbox Game Pass doesn't take slow games, probably. So that's my review. I think, let me see how much I can score. If you are really a fan of this kind of genre, you could give it like a 7 out of 10. And if you don't like, if you want, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the mob varieties in this game is not so many. So if you are expecting different bosses or different enemies you want to fight, you won't find it here. But I don't think you find that many monsters in other games either, you know. It's a typical horror game, copy pasta bosses or the mobs, you know, enemies. So 7 if you're really into this genre. I would say a 6.5 to 6 if you're a normal player. So it's average and above average, I would say. I wouldn't say you have to go out of your way to buy this game or something. But if you have Xbox Game Pass, once again, try it, see if you like it. If you like it, then you can buy the game and then support them. You know? What's my one-liner for this game? Total chaos, but you are in total control if you know what you're doing. That's my one-liner. There we go. That's my review. Hope you guys will like the review. And if you like my review, be sure to like and subscribe. With that, Alex is signing out.